Welcome to today's Explainer. We are about to unpack a story that completely flips the script on what it actually takes to succeed. We're diving deep into the life of a man who faced just immense adversity, but absolutely refused to quit, Elon Musk. We're going to look at the source material and see exactly how ordinary and, honestly, extremely difficult beginnings can be engineered to build an extraordinary life.
So let me ask you straight up. Are you ready to unlock your true potential? I'm asking you directly, because the insights we're covering today aren't just a bunch of biographical facts, they're a literal blueprint. If you are ready to challenge your own mindset, stick with me here, because this narrative is designed to fundamentally reshape how you view failure. We're going to deconstruct how one person took the darkest, most isolating moments of his life and transformed them into an absolute launchpad.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the illusion of wealth. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive gap between the public face and the hidden reality. I mean, the world knows Elon Musk is one of the richest men alive, right? That's the polished version you see on magazine covers and in financial headlines. But the actual reality? It is completely paved with intense pain, massive failures, and constant rejection. We are talking about a man who faced brutal public ridicule and stood on the absolute brink of total bankruptcy. Back in 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX were simultaneously running completely out of cash. He was literally borrowing money just to pay his rent. He had to make this impossible choice: split his remaining funds and risk losing both companies, or pour it all into one and watch the other die. Yet, beneath that crushing, unbelievable pressure, he possessed this determination to just keep going when absolutely everything was falling apart.
Because, there was an actual time when absolutely nobody believed in him. Let's just pause and think about that for a second. He wasn't born into this perfect, supportive environment where success was just handed to him. Think about the intense isolation of having an ambitious, almost crazy vision for the future, but looking around and realizing that investors, critics, and sometimes even the people closest to you don't think you can actually pull it off. Early on, experts in both the automotive and aerospace industries literally laughed at his proposals. They told him rockets were impossible for a private citizen and that electric cars were a complete dead end. But that heavy, suffocating isolation of being the only one who sees the destination, that's exactly what forged his unstoppable drive.
Let's shift gears and look at where that drive came from. Section 2, the quiet, bullied child. To truly grasp the adult who takes on these global, monumental challenges, we have to look closely at his youth in South Africa. He was quiet. He was distinctly different from the other kids, processing the world in a way that just socially isolated him. To escape, he spent countless hours retreating into encyclopedias, absorbing literally everything he could get his hands on about science, programming, and technology. We're talking reading for up to 10 hours a day. But that intense focus and grand imagination? It made him a huge target. He was ruthlessly bullied at school. In one specific instance detailed in his biography, a group of boys threw him down a flight of concrete stairs and beat him until he blacked out, actually landing him in the hospital. His vision, his personality, entirely misunderstood. He felt completely, utterly alone. Imagine the daily agitation of being a kid with this massive mind, trapped in an environment that physically and emotionally rejects you at every single turn. That kind of trauma could have easily broken him.
And that brings us to a massive shift in his trajectory. Section 3, turning pain into fuel.
So the crucial point is this: never let your circumstances decide your future. Really let that sink in for a moment. Instead of allowing that intense childhood trauma and isolation to destroy him, he made a deeply conscious choice. He took his deepest pain and used it as the very fuel that powered his ascent. He didn't let the bullies, the extreme isolation, or the financial devastations that came later write his final chapter. No, he took back his power and grabbed a pen himself. He channeled the sheer frustration of being completely misunderstood into this obsessive, relentless work ethic. He basically decided that if the world wasn't going to make a space for him, he'd just have to build a totally new world.
Which perfectly sets up our final chapter. Section 4, solving problems for humanity.
Now we move from a story of sheer personal survival to this grand, audacious vision. One day, Musk just decided he absolutely refused to live an ordinary life. He wanted to solve problems that could change humanity forever. That early isolation, all those hours reading science books while hiding from bullies, it culminated in a total refusal to just exist. He aimed his ambition directly at the biggest, most monumental challenges our species faces, transitioning the entire world to sustainable energy and making humanity a multiplanetary species. He took the intense pressure, the brutal public rejection, the sting of those early failures, and he channeled every single ounce of it into building the future. It was never just about the money for him. It was about ensuring the survival and the advancement of humanity itself.
So here we are at our final question. Most people dream, but will you turn your pain into fuel? Seriously, think about your own life for a second. What are you going to do with your setbacks? Are you going to let your circumstances and your critics define you, or are you going to use that friction to unlock your true potential? The choice is entirely yours. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today, and I'm going to leave you with that thought.